Good. Thanks and welcome everybody, and thanks ILSI for inviting me to do this talk. Let's see. Okay, so I just want to make it clear that I'm representing the part of Cargill that we are talking about manufacturing, the facilities, not the R&D part of Cargill. So in R&D in Cargill, we actually do use sequencing. But Cargill still believes that there is a large amount of mystery left in whole genome sequencing. So I'm going to go through some of this topics like the other speakers have. I want to take us back to the basics. The basics of when we developed HACCP back in the 60s. Some of us remember that, and some of us that seems like that was forever ago. The whole point of that is food safety is about prevention. To us, whole genome sequencing is just another tool to help us verify that the preventive systems and actions that we have put in place are actually working. We don't see how whole genome sequencing is going to help us change the culture of our workers. So we need to see more of that. Now, I'm not saying in the next 3-5 years that there might be more clarity to that. But today, we're not really seeing how it's going to affect food safety versus public health. It's an excellent tool for public health. Consistency in obtaining and analyzing the data. So it was great, Errol talked about the different studies, and it's coming along. There's an ISO group formed. Errol is the project leader of it, and that's going to lead us to some more global harmonization and standardization, which again, we're not there today, so that is one of the mysteries as well. Consistency in the organisms. We all know, and if you work with organisms on an applied basis, they could change their behaviors and maybe even their genetic makeup based on the environment they're growing in. Today it's more acidic than it was yesterday. The water activity is changing. Do we know yet how that is changing the whole genome sequence? I don't think we know that yet. We're struggling just to understand even the cardinal values of these organisms, which are your typical pH, temperature, acidic profiles, water activities. We can't even do that because it's all dependent on what's happening at that moment in time with that organism in that environment. Then what does that data mean? Can we quantitate this data? Surprisingly, I think people don't realize that the industry would really love to quantitate pathogen incidence, not just know is it there or not. So can we do that with whole genome sequencing? I haven't heard anybody talk about that's a possibility. And again, like I said, can it really drive the changes that we need? Changes in equipment design, changes in the zoning of the facility and our people, hygiene. What is it going to actually do when it comes to our food safety preventative systems? And again, we need benchmarking, controls, standards, validation. Again, it's another method, another tool. We expect it to be validated and then verified. And like I said, ISO is working on harmonizing it and standardizing it. Last but not least, any tools that we have truly need to be fit for purpose. So what are we trying to get from that information, from that data? All data generated is generated to make decisions. So what decisions are we going to make from the data we receive? And again, that's where one of the big mysteries are from, because today can we trust that data that we're getting? And that's it from my side.